Did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? Wow. You guys know that I've said in a previous videos, right? And subsequently thereafter, that when I was coming to Africa, I discarded all of the African Francophone countries because I did not want to come to Africa and learn another colonial language, right? So for that reason, I discarded all of those Francophone countries, although a lot of our ancestors came from that region, the Burkina Fasos, the Togo, the Benin, the Nigeria, that region is called the slave coast, right? A lot of our ancestors was taken from that region. As a matter of fact, the majority was taken from that region, guys. But guys, it seems like Benin, it seems like those Francophone countries, the African Francophone countries, are the countries that are doing the right thing by us. They are the ones who is opening up. They are the ones who is inviting us. They are the ones who is welcoming us. Did I make a mistake?
Breaking news, Benin has just passed a law granting Afro-Americans and everyone in the African diaspora citizenship. President Patrice Talon has decided to grant everyone in the African diaspora citizenship, and it's actually quite groundbreaking. Now, Benin is nestled between Togo and Nigeria, and it's reported that 1.5 million enslaved Africans were trafficked to the Americas during the time of the transatlantic slave trade. And so, to appease the ancestors and to reconcile Benin's historical role and complacency in the transatlantic slave trade, the president, he is making this path easy for those in the African diaspora to come back and to invest in Benin. So, and it couldn't come at a better time. You must be 18 years or older. You cannot have African citizenship in any other African country. And lastly, you must provide proof that you are in fact a descendant of the enslaved Africans that were trafficked from anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa by providing DNA tests, family history, and family documents. Those are the documents that will be accepted if you, in fact, want to gain Benin citizenship.
A sister of mine who is a subscriber, she's one of my first subscribers. She's a big supporter of mine. She sent me a link about Benin granting citizenships to the Afro descendants, to the descendants of the African slaves that were taken, yeah? And I was looking into it, and it's what it says, right? You guys may have heard of it before. You guys may have heard of it on YouTube from different YouTubers and different stuff, right? But we're doing it here because, guys, it is good news. And like I said, it seems like it's the Francophone African countries that are the ones that are doing the right thing by us. Benin grants citizenship to people who can prove they are descendants of the people deported. I know about deported. From sub-Saharan Africa as part of the slave trade. This law was passed in September 2024 by President Patrice Talon. Right, but as I was looking into it, right, guys, I came across this this lady from Guadeloupe. Her name was Meraja. So her and her husband, I don't know if you guys know, like Guadeloupe in the Caribbean, those like French colonies, right? Guadeloupe, Martinique. So she came from like Guadeloupe, right? And she moved to Benin 27 years ago. Guys, listen, she is the one that championed this law, and many people don't talk about her. She is the one who fought. She is the one who advocate for this law. She lobbied government, she fought. Guys, but listen, the sad thing, this law was passed on November 20th, 2024. She died 10 days before the law was passed. She did not live to see what she fought for 27 years come into fruition. One woman, guys, one person, you understand, fought for 27 years relentlessly so that Benin would open up, so that Benin would recognize us, guys, because we are the descendants of Africans that were taken from Africa. Remember her name, Meraja. On November 28th, 2024, and I did my research, I made my notes, right? On November 28, 2024, Benin government made the announcement that they would grant full recognition to the descendants of Africans that were taken as Africans and would grant them citizenship. It's amazing. Benin would recognize us as Africans. And they will grant us citizenship because we are Africans. Like I said before, and as we know, our ancestors did not leave Africa on their own free will. Our ancestors was taken. Our ancestors was sold. Our ancestors was brought to this part of the world, was brought to South America, was brought to the Caribbean, and enslaved. It is time for African countries to do right by us. It is time for African countries to recognize us as Africans. A wrong was done, and that wrong need to be right. So my heart's off to Benin, my heart's off to Burkina Faso, my heart's off to Ghana, who's been doing this for many years. My heart's off to Sierra Leone, right? But there are like conditions that you have to meet, right? So to be eligible, you must be 18 years old, 18 years and older to be eligible. You must not have any other African citizenship, because a lot of people go to Africa and collect citizenship from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, right? They just collect an African passport. So this one here that I'm really glad that this one is here. You cannot have any other African country's citizenship, as we are not collecting passports. You must be able to prove that an ancestor was that ancestors were taken from sub-Saharan Africa as part of the slave trade. Right? How you can do that? You can by DNA test. You guys know about this company who does DNA testing, the black company, the African genetic testing company, right? They do it very well. They have like a database, of all those tribes and whatever, and they can pinpoint based on your DNA where in Africa your ancestry comes from. So that's a company. I'm not going to mention the name because I'm not getting paid for this by them, but that's a company. You guys must have heard about it. You guys must have know about it. You can get your DNA through them, which I would advise that if it's something that you want to do, that you use their services, because they can pinpoint exactly based upon the amount of DNA they have collected. They have thousands and thousands and thousands, and they don't hold on to your DNA. They don't sell it to other companies. Once your DNA is done, they said that they destroyed. The samples are destroyed. So I believe this is a very good company to use if you really want to know, you really want to pinpoint where your ancestors come from. And again, it is black owned, black business. We have to support black business at every opportunity that we can, right? If you cannot for whatever reason, then we look outside of our community. But first, we should be able to have our money circulate within our community, which is something we do not do very well. Yeah. It's a process, right? So the process, you provide your DNA tests, family records, or right? You apply for a provisional certificate, because first of all, before citizenship is granted, you apply for the provisional certificate, which is given to you, right? The provisional certificate of nationality that you would hold for 3 years. Understand? Just as when I came here to Canada, when I became a legal immigrant, a resident, right? I had to keep my residency for 3 years. Do not travel outside of Canada within that do not travel. But within that 3 years, you're supposed to accumulate a certain numbers of days in the country. Let's say 1,000 days, yeah? So if within that 3 years I travel outside of Canada for 2 weeks, that 2 weeks, 14 days will deduct from the 1,000 days. So even if I'm here for 3 years, but I have not reached the threshold of 1,000 days. So what Benin is saying, that they will grant you the provisional certificate of nationality that you would hold for 3 years, right? But listen what they're saying. Within the 3 years, all you have to do you have to stay in Benin at least once within that 3 years. So it's not like they give you citizenship and you have to stay in Benin. For example, someone like me now, if I were to move to Benin to set up, then I will stay there. Maybe I can leave once a year and come back or whatever, right? But if you're not ready to retire, if you're not ready to move to Africa, but you say, you know what, Benin is attractive to me, I'm going to move to Benin, you can get the citizenship, but all you got to do in that 3 year period, you have to go to Benin one time. And after the 3 years, you can apply for citizenship, right? So Benin is doing this, guys. Let me get the news here so I can read. And as I said, a wrong was committed. Okay? And a lot of the chiefs, a lot of the kings profited from the slave trade. There is a Nigerian author, Chimamanda is her name. She's Igbo. And she talked about it, right? Her ancestors directly sold people into slavery. Her ancestors profited. You guys can look it up, right? She talked about it all the time. And she says, I sent her an email one time because when she talked about it, she said that she has no guilt and she should feel no guilt about what her ancestors did. It is known that her ancestors were involved in the capture and selling of our people. Yeah? And what I said to her, the privilege that you have right now, and this is something that we say, right? We say that America is built on the backs of slaves. And when the whites say, well, I was not directly involved in this, we say, well, yeah, but you are benefiting. You are directly benefiting from that. So if we can say that to the whites, why can't we say that to someone like her? You are directly benefiting the foundation that you got your education from, the foundation that allow you to live in a level of opulence came from your ancestors selling the fellow tribesmen or the fellow African into slavery. So Benin now recognizing that a wrong was committed, This law is part of Benin's effort to acknowledge its role in the slave trade. Guys, when the ancestors, listen, nothing happens when it's not supposed to happen. I don't believe in coincidences. Like I said, I don't sit down and have regrets. I don't believe in accidents. What happened, supposed to happen, when it happens, period. A tide is turning, yeah? There are many of us who have an awakening to go to Africa. And we have gone to Africa. We moved to Africa. In the Bible, they talk about Joshua went to spy to view the land. As spies to view the land. Right? So there are many of us who have gone ahead to view the land and to bring back report is what I'm doing. To bring back report. The land is good. It is good. It is okay to come. Yes, there are things that can be right. Yes, there are issues, for lack of a better word. But it is okay. It is good to come. So we are bringing back the reports. Because this is how it's supposed to be. You're not going to wake up one day and there's a throve of people moving to Africa. No, we have to go. And we have to go to different countries. We have to be in different countries. And we have to bring the good reports back. It is okay. It is good. So what Benin has done is recognizing the wrong that was done. That it is time that the ancestors move. It is time that the spirit of the ancestors move. And when the spirit of the ancestors move, guys, nothing can stop it. So I believe that the awakening that has started is about to get into full effect. Benin is one of a few African countries that offer citizenship to descendants of enslaved people. We come to Africa and we want to be at home. I said that before. We don't want to come to Africa and we don't want to feel that we are not welcome. We don't want to come to Africa and we don't want to feel that we have to leave every 3 months, every 90 days. We don't want to come to Africa and we don't want to feel that we cannot buy land. We cannot construct a house. We cannot invest. We are skeptical because we don't know what's going to happen. So when you are able to go to a country and when you're able to set roots, be it given residency, given like citizenship, you feel confident, you feel a part of the society, you feel a part of the community. And then you can say, now, instead of investing $10,000, now I can invest $30,000, $50,000 because I am home. I'm feeling that I am home. I am part of the community. I can integrate, I can assimilate because I belong. There are not that much barriers. And this is what Benin is doing. And many of us do not look at those. We don't look at the Benins, we don't look at the Togos, we don't look at the Burkina Fasos, we don't look at those countries. I didn't. We don't look at the Sierra Leones. We look at the Tanzanias, the Kenyas, the Ghanas, the whatever. And whereas the countries that we do not look at is the country that's giving us home, the country that's making it comfortable for us so that we can come and Nina Punza Numbani. Hey, my friends. So my question to you is that, did I make a mistake when I was moving to Africa? And are we making the mistakes when we move to Africa that we do not look at those countries? The countries now that we discarded are the ones that are giving us a place to call home. And the ones that we run to and flock to are the ones that have barriers. let's be real, guys. This is the African Jumpbeat. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If it's your first time here, karibuni sana. I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for watching my videos. As always, I invite you guys to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. You know, Africa is our home. Africa is where we belong. You look at what's happening, guys, and I have another video coming that I try to get into the Elon Musk, story and whatever, and why I think that, as I always say, Africa is the right place for us to be, right? So thank you guys for being here one more time. Thank you for watching the video. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment, share the video, guys. This is good. Let it go viral. Let people know that, hey, you want to come to Africa? There are places that we can go that will accept us, that is asking us to come home, that is trying to reconcile with us. We need a place to call home. We need a place where we can rest our head. We need a place where we can pumzika. In Tanzania, pumzika needs to rest. Ninajifunza nyumbani. We're resting at home. And those countries, guys, give us the ability to do that. Peace and love. Thank you for sharing with me. Until next time.